what Warner Brothers' 10-year plan means for the future of the DCEU. The internet is still reeling from the abrupt shelving of the much-anticipated Batgirl movie last week. The film was to be an HBO Max exclusive, and Warner Bros. Discovery's new CEO David Zaslav confirmed on last week's earnings call that DC would no longer make or release DC films specifically for the HBO Max platform. It's theatrical or bust. That assertion, plus the cancellation of other DC TV properties, has led many to speculate what, if any, of the myriad announced DC films are still in play. We're going to look at everything that has been announced and update you on what will or won't likely remain on the slate going forward. Several movies already have release dates, and some of them have even had trailers, and we see no reason any of them will come off the calendar, with one big exception, which we'll note. First up, in October of this year, Dwayne Johnson dons the not-at-all padded suit of one Black Adam in his eponymous debut film. Several members of the Justice Society, including Aldous Hodge's Hawkman, Quintessa Swindell's Cyclone, Noah Centinneo's Atom Smasher, and of course Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate will all also appear. This one's not going anywhere, folks. The Rock is a big star, as well you know. Next, 2 months later in December, Shazam! Fury of the Gods crashes into theaters. His costume is padded. This one will see the Shazamly go up against the Daughters of Atlas, including Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and Rachel Ziegler. This one is also not going anywhere. In March of 2023, we'll see Jason Momoa return to the sea in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, from director James Wan. Everybody from the first movie looks to be returning, along with a host of new characters. One late addition is none other than Ben Affleck, who will once again play Bruce Wayne.
Just like a bat. I dig it.
He's in a real Michael Corleone in Godfather 3 situation. They keep pulling him back in.
Maybe temporary.
The first Aquaman was a massive hit, so there's no reason to believe this one won't come out. After that, it's a little bit murkier. Currently slated for June 23rd, 2023 is director Andy Muschietti's The Flash, which has been in gestation since 2016 in some fashion or other. It's expected to be an adaptation of Geoff Johns' Flashpoint saga, seeing Barry Allen travel to different timelines and universes, including one where Michael Keaton is still Batman. The big question mark here is the movie's star, Ezra Miller, who turned out to be a stone-cold nightmare in real life. The movie has already moved a lot of times, so it's certainly possible it'll move again. Next is the much-anticipated Blue Beetle movie, finally bringing Jaime Reyes to the live-action screen. If you've seen the set photos, this might be the most comics-accurate suit we've ever seen. This was another movie originally slated for HBO Max, but unlike Batgirl, this one has been bumped up to theatrical status. Currently, we're looking at an August 18, 2023 release. And finally, a date has been set for Todd Phillips' Joker Folie à Deux, a sequel to the Oscar-winning Joker from 2019. Joaquin Phoenix will be back as Arthur Fleck, and Lady Gaga will co-star opposite him, presumably as the gritty 70s version of Harley Quinn. So get ready for that in October of 2024. We're all excited. Those are all the movies that have release dates, but there are a veritable cavalcade of films in some form of development. Honestly, it seems pretty unlikely that all of these will end up on the screen, but we can hope. Part of Zaslav's DC discussion last week included mention of a 10-year plan for DC in which, quote, "We are going to focus on quality. We are not going to release a film before it's ready. DC is something we can make better and we're focusing on it now. Black Adam, Shazam, and The Flash, we've seen them all, we think they're terrific, and we think we can make them even better." So what movies are we looking at here? The most likely to actually happen is a sequel to Matt Reeves' The Batman. The film, which introduced a new continuity for the Caped Crusader as played by Robert Pattinson, made not a little amount of money, but in fact, a great deal of it. It also received tons of acclaim from critics, me, and viewers alike. So this one's happening, don't worry. A Black Canary movie is in production, a spin-off from 2020's Birds of Prey movie starring Journey Smollett. This one is still in the scripting phase, however. It was originally an HBO Max exclusive, so we're not holding our breath for this one to keep singing. Like Black Canary. On the same token, a Gotham City Sirens movie, which would continue the adventures of one Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie, is also in development. Robbie has proven to be one of the standouts of the DCEU, and Birds of Prey and the Suicide Squad proves she's one of the most compelling screen characters they have. We can hope this one finds a release, and we think it will. Actress Sasha Calle was cast as Supergirl to appear in the Flash movie, and it was later announced that she'd have her own movie. But reports tied to the shelving of Batgirl seem to suggest the Supergirl film will not continue at this time. Huge bummer. Blackhawks seems a particularly strange DC Comics property to get a movie, given that they're a very World War II era team. But Steven Spielberg is attached to direct, so we could see this one continuing on. Our Man, not Our Man, but Our as in with an H, is another Golden Age hero who has a movie in development. This seems very unlikely to me at this point, given the 10-year plan of it all. A Static Shock movie is in development from Warner Brothers, Milestone Media, and Michael B. Jordan's Outlier Society Productions. We'd love to see Virgil Hawkins make his way to the screen in live action, but since this movie was also originally planned for HBO Max, its continued existence at this point seems questionable. The last one we're really unsure of is Zatanna, a movie starring the DC Universe's resident magical heroine. She's a big fixture in the mystical parts of the DC continuity, and we'd love to see her be the beginning of a Justice League Dark saga. This movie was one of 2 projects announced in conjunction with J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Productions, so we can hope Abrams has the clout to keep this one going. The final 3 movies in development are effectively shoo-ins. Whether they happen the way we expect or not, we will see these 3 on the big screen soon. First is a rebooted Superman movie set outside the DCEU, which is the other project for Bad Robot. Whether this continues or not, Superman is indelible to the success of DC, and therefore, he's gonna happen. Next is Wonder Woman. Currently, it's Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3, which would once again star Gal Gadot. Whether it remains Jenkins and Gadot's franchise, or if it gets a reboot, Wonder Woman is the 3rd prong of the DC Holy Trinity, so this one also is gonna happen. And finally, we have Green Lantern Corps. This property has a funk attached to it since the disastrous Ryan Reynolds film of 2009. It's not good.
I know, right?
But Green Lantern deserves to be part of the greater DC Films universe. And having it be the Green Lantern Corps, not just a single GL from Earth, could give us a proper superhero space opera, which we've never seen before. This is all based on what has been announced. We certainly don't know when or if any of it will actually come out. But if you want to see what the DC Films 10-year plan should look like according to us, Eric Diaz has you covered over on Nerdist.com. In the meantime, though, tell us, what do you think? What DC movies are you hoping survive the great superhero cult? Are there any movies not mentioned here you'd like to see? Will we ever get the long-awaited gritty Chris O'Donnell Robin sequel?
I need a name. Batboy, Nightwing. I don't know, what do you think? What's a good sidekick name?
Let us know in the comments below, and for more of the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.